Puerto Rico to take on UNC Greensboro on Thursday at 10 a.m. Central, and on Friday they'll play Towson at 1 p.m. Central as a part of the Puerto Rico Classico tournament. Coach, you can start us off with an opening statement, and then we'll open it up to questions using the raise hand function.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I was very pleased with the win over Corpus. I think they're a really good team and that had a lot of confidence and plays with a lot of confidence just from what they experienced last year. And I thought that our team played pretty well. I mean, obviously every time you play a game, you look at situations where you can improve, and they gave us some situations that we really needed to improve on, and that's what you want this time of the year. You want to play people that make you better, expose some things that you need to get better at, and we've worked on some things this week. We've had some practice days, and I think if you ask the players, they're ready to get to Puerto Rico and play a game. I think they're tired of practicing.
Gary?
Yeah, good morning, Coach.
Morning.
Just wanted to ask, how does it feel to be able to take your team down to Puerto Rico and play in Nina's hometown? Pretty special deal, right?
Yeah, it's crazy, Jerry. This was not a planned event. So, ironically enough, we had scheduled this tournament prior to the recruitment of Nina, and had no, knowledge of her going into the portal or anything like that. I mean, you sign agreements to play in tournaments like this pretty much a year in advance, and I'm thankful to the administration for allowing us to play, in a tournament that gives your kids a chance to see another culture. I think it's always a great cultural experience to go to another country and play good competition. But I think a little bit of an opportunity just for them to let their hair down a little bit. It's Thanksgiving. It's always I think a hard time, to be honest with you, for staff and players. Uh, just the experience of being away from home. But I think when you go to this environment, at least makes it a little bit more fun to be away to be away from in the holidays. But back to Nina, Jerry. Was not aware, of her, you know, being available or anything like that. Obviously, it ended up being maybe a good recruiting tool for us, because when we started recruiting her, we had this scheduled. But stroke of luck, I think, for her, but she's never played in front of her family, and just a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for a young lady that it's well deserved for her also.
Sean?
Coach, you have a couple of multi-day, multi-game trips here with your last one and then this trip to Puerto Rico. Two-part question. How does that time away together help with team chemistry? And then how does the timing of the games help you as you prepare for postseason play at the end of the year where you'll have multiple games back-to-back?
Yeah, I think this is the next 4 weeks or so are really a good test for us. I think in a stretch where you can definitely, as you said, use for tools to reflect back on when you get deep into conference play, and you may have a quick turnaround, or of course the conference tournament, and hopefully the NCAAs where you have a day in between. So I think that anytime you put your team in these type of experiences, then you definitely can learn a lot from that. I think that from a team bonding perspective, this is a really, really good opportunity, even though really the players are still academically challenged right now. This is really a tough time for them academically. I learned a few years ago that the week before finals is actually one of their worst academic weeks, and so they do have some of that weighing on them. But I think to be able to let your hair down for a couple of days, we'll have a day where we don't play on Saturday, that I think they can spend some time together, and it does really give you reflection time back. When you get deep into conference play and you've had some things to laugh about and look back on, I think it's a really good experience for a team, and it gives them a chance to sort of like close off the world, and spend some time together without a lot of distractions.
Jerry?
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to ask, in Nina's case, it was her first chance to play a college game in front of her family and friends down there. And I just wanted to ask you how does a player balance the emotions of a homecoming with obviously the business at hand. You got to play. You're going to have to play two games down there. Have you talked to Nina about that, or is that something you just don't? With Nina, do you just not even have to worry about it with her, or how's that going?
Yeah, no, I don't worry much about Nina. To be honest with you, Nina came here for some legitimate reasons. I think she wanted a different experience, which and she wanted to make the most of her experience, whatever that was. If it was learning something new, learning how to lead a different team. Nina is all in. She's one of those players that really, first of all, she loves life. There's no question about that. She carries herself like she loves life, and I can't see her going down there and not just loving this experience, not feeling any type of pressure. I don't think she feels pressure, really. I think she loves the game. I think she has an opportunity to go down there and play in front of, probably family, friends. Her intention is to go right back to Puerto Rico when she finishes her season here and start her professional career. So I think that this is just kind of a feather in her cap. I mean, it wasn't expected for her. It's not why she came here. But it's a little bit of icing on the cake for her last year in college basketball.
Sean?
Obviously, it's more important how you finish than how you start, but you're off to the best start since I think '07, '08. What does that mean to you and mean to the program and the players to have been able to do that?
I think that there's been so many things that have happened in the last 3 or 4 years that you look back on and you're like, there's always something that comes up where it's been a long time since we've done it. And I think that's just a reflection of, how hard our whole group has worked on what we've said from day one was just, can we move the needle for the program? Can we make it better? Leave it better than you found it, those types of sayings. And I think that when those types of stats come up or anything like that, you just, you know that what you're doing is the right thing. What the players are doing, the staff. I mean, there's a lot of intention on us trying to be as successful as we can be. I think this group has so much room for improvement that where we are right now excites me a lot because I still think there's so many things we can get better at, and I think our ceiling is really high this year. And if they stay focused on the right things, keep the main thing, I think this group can be a really special group. So I'm looking forward to every day. I love practice. I know they don't, but I like to go out and try new things, and this group has a lot of diversity. There's just a lot of different things I think we can throw at people offensively and defensively. So I look forward to seeing what they're capable of every day.
Gary?
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to ask a little bit about Greensboro, 6-1 to start the season. What have you seen from your first opponent down there in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, very good team. Very good team. Very, very well coached team. They play with purpose, and they have some kids that can really score the basketball in a lot of different ways. I mean, they have a big kid that is a presence in the paint, but lots of guards. They can throw a lot of different looks at you. But I'm probably most impressed with their defense. They've created a lot of havoc defensively for their opponents, and they kind of thrive off of getting steals. They have a lot of steals in 7 games. So, it concerns me. I mean, sometimes we're a little bit careless with the ball, and not only that, but when we come off the bench, like we play a lot of young kids. Our core group is pretty experienced, but when you start to bring kids off the bench, they're inexperienced. And this will be a really, really big challenge for us. They are a very good team.
Sean?
We've seen the return of the cash-in chain to recognize a player after every game. It has a new look this year a little bit. Talk about the cash-in chain and just what it means to your players and your program.
Yeah, the the premise behind it really was the team last year. You know, they really felt like they needed to figure out how to like deposit every day. You know, how what do you do every day in practice? What are you doing in your free time? What's your preparation like? What kind of extra time are you spending in the gym and in the film room with the coaches? And so last year they came up with that, and then when we started this year, I always asked them like, what do you want? What are you looking for out of this year? And they immediately were like, we don't want to change it. We didn't get done what we wanted to do, so we're still in that depositing process. So I think it's just investment. It's all about them personally, and I think collectively investing in the program and in themselves. They've bought into that. In reference to the chain, a wonderful investment from April and Sarah. She was kind enough to share these chains that she's been selling in the community, and in particular during the football games. And so, of course, I had to jump onto Jeff's bandwagon and get some chains of ourselves. But I thought, that'd be cool. She was kind enough to donate them to us, and so every game, the player that gets player of the game or whatever you want to call it, like they get to actually keep it, which I think is cool. It'll be a great memory for them. They can show their kids their chain one day, and just cool stuff that our community. Again, somebody like April that's nice enough to donate that. That was much appreciated.
Jerry?
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to ask, the game the other night was kind of a grinded out game. One of y'all's better defensive performances this season, I think. What gives you more satisfaction, Coach, to win a game like you did the other night, or would you rather play those games where everybody's scoring and hitting the threes and it's up and down? What gives you more satisfaction as a coach? Which style?
Um, I mean, to be honest with you, Jerry, I have enjoyed watching the growth offensively of our team. I think we make better decisions. I think we're shooting the ball better. So I think it's nice. I think I'm always going to feel like our commitment is to be pretty solid defensively. I don't think we're as good as we can be right now defensively. So I get a little irritated with that because I like that side of the ball. But I think it's been nice to see a more free-flowing offensive group. I think they're more confident. That comes with time in the gym, and this group has spent a lot of time in the gym. But I think as a coach, you enjoy winning, and you enjoy, really, I think just beating a team that you respect. I don't care how many points we win by. Like that's not the point of all of it. But I do appreciate the fact that it was a very competitive game, and that we kind of put our foot down at some point in that game, and that was nice to see.
I think that'll close things out. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.